So, I wanted to make a video for my favorite games that I played in 2025. This list also includes older titles which I finally got to play this year, but most of the list still have games released in 2025. As personally, I think this was a stacked year for game releases for all kind of genres, from multiplayer to single player, adventure, and RPGs of all kind. Exclusively play on PC and mostly on Steam. This was also the year that I finally got myself the Steam Deck and got a lot of hours in games on the deck. I might make a separate video for it if this gets enough traction. So let's begin. I will arrange this by the games I played by each month. So firstly, starting with Metaphor Refantasio. I got this on Steam Winter Sale of 2024 actually in December, and finally started my playthrough in January. This was already a banger start for 2025 for me. I have not played many Atlas games, but I have played Persona 5 and Persona 3 Reloaded, which both I loved, but still I wish they refined their formula further and combat as well in these games. And they did. Metaphor is a special game because the game is very tight. Despite lasting for 100 plus hours, I never thought my time was being wasted. In fact, I was up to spend more time in the world. The strongest parts of this game are the story and the world. Each and every character is so well written, and the fantasy setting is really carefully crafted. That sucks you into this world, really. Also, hats off to the writers for not holding back when it comes to the social and political themes of this game. I feel like it's very rare for games, especially AAA games, to come out and say things out loud. Apart from that, also the characters feel really real and special, especially the party members. Atlas knows how to create S tier party members. We know that from Persona games. I mean, I only played that, but yeah. And this time it's no different. Every time I try to name my favorite character here, I just can't decide because all of them are so good. Like I guess mine will be Jaime, maybe, but that can change if I look at back at it again. Talking about the game systems now, combat first. I really like the archetype systems that they went for here. It's still not perfect, but for the first playthrough, it keeps things tight and it strikes the perfect balance between being balanced, approachable, and also fun. I was able to experiment with many combination of archetypes and party members and create synergies. Also, they look so cool. Their designs and animations are really amazing. I mean, whenever you are using an ability, it feels smooth to use them, and their animations when those archetypes are out, it's really good. Apart from the combat, the RPG systems like the calendar system and the bond system has been streamlined here, which I really like. That was the only concerning thing from me. I mean, I like the calendar system, don't get me wrong, but I think there are still a lot of fillers in Persona game. Uh, in Persona games. So, for example, in the Persona games, for forwarding your bond, it took much longer, and also it did not raise your bond with every interaction. So it felt like a waste at times and a lot of padding. But here the goals are very clearly communicated. Like I think there are only like eight. You have to communicate with them 8 times. Like there are 8 levels to the bond, and each level forwards the story of your bond with that character. And with every level, you are doing something different. You are going to new places. You are experiencing the story. You're experiencing new dialogues, and you are a lot of times you also go into new dungeons, sometimes multiple times within the same bond. So yeah, in summary, I had a great time with this game from start to finish, and there was very little that I did not like. So overall, big thumbs up on this. This game should get more recognition, in my opinion, from the general audience and not be forgotten so easily. I mean, I hope Atlas makes a sequel to this. I mean, the story, yeah, like this should be a recurring series, honestly. So let's see. So next up we have Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. I know it's a mouthful, but yeah, I mean I'm a fan of this series. I'm not sure whose idea it is to start February every year with major releases and why it happens, but yeah, February has two big games that are on this list. First up, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Fun fact, originally both the games which I'm about to talk in this list, Pirate Yakuza and Monster Hunter Wilds, were about to release on the same date, but RGG pulled the release 1 week ahead to prevent the conflict, and I think it worked best for them because yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds sold like gangbusters. I think it was the most highest peak player count on Steam this year. I may be wrong, but yeah, that's for later. Anyways, so Pirate Yakuza to start. I am a big Like a Dragon Yakuza series fan. I think it's the most consistent and greatest game series ever made. I know I'm selling it a lot, but yeah, the series has like 10 plus games, and every one of them, at least story wise, is so good. In short, yes, I'm heavily biased towards this series. That being said, Pirate Yakuza, I have a mixed feeling about it. The gameplay and side content was the highlight of this for me. The ship battles were fun, and there was enough content to push yourself to go all in on this. It's no Sea of Thieves or Black Flag, but it is fun for what it does. For a like a 40-hour adventure, it's cool. The downside for me here was the main narrative. The villains, while having amazing aura, really fall flat in the writing, which is rare for this series. You hope something interesting will take place with them, but it's very cookie cutter. I get why they went with a wacky pirate theme adventure for Majima as a lead, but man, Yakuza 0 and even other games have showed us that Majima has more depth than he gets credit for. There are those points in this game for sure where Majima feels deeper, but especially in the post credit, which almost made me cry. And no spoilers there, but yeah. But for most of the game, Majima has amnesia and is a pirate, so we don't get that enough really. Um, I would have been really happy with this game regardless of all that because at the end of the day, it's super fun. The combat is really fun, the different fighting styles and the different ways you can launch the enemy in the air and do like Devil May Cry type of combos. I mean, not to that degree, but still. However, it launched with a $70 price tag, with a full price tag, which I cannot just justify for this game. I don't think they should have done that because the previous Gaiden game, Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name was, I think, like a $40 title. At least it was in full price, and yeah, it was. That's why it got the love it deserved. But this being full price, that's what got the mixed feelings from everyone, and it's justified, yeah. But nowadays, if you can get this on sale, it should be on heavy sale. It will be well worth it, even if you have not played previous entries in this series, as this is a spin-off. This is a spin-off and can be enjoyed on its own. Next up, we have Monster Hunter Wilds. Monster Hunter Wilds. This is a big one. I'm not a Monster Hunter veteran or anything, but my introduction of the series was from Monster Hunter World, like a lot of other people I know, but still. And I fell in love with that game and the series. I put like hundreds of hours in it. I then played Rise as well, and unfortunately, I never get the chance to play Sunbreak for one reason or another. But yeah, which I know the community hails as the best in this generation or last generation, depends on how you put it. But yeah, so I was super excited for Wilds, and to be honest, apart from the general discourse and some gameplay issues with the game, I loved it. PC performance was terrible, but I saw it coming honestly because Capcom was never able to fix Dragon Dogma's 2 performance, and I think that was basically the test bed for this game. I think, yeah, it's no excuse though, and I'm glad it got the flag for that. It got, and I'm at least they are trying to fix it, but that's the story for that's been the story for like last 5 years with for every major release. So yeah. Apart from that, the game itself is almost perfection for me. The monsters, new and old, were really well crafted. The designs and fights were really well done and keeps you coming back for one more hunt. I'm still playing it, even in December. A lot of new designs felt very original and new to the series, like Uduna and New Dras being like very unique and some of my favorite. And I think the launch roster for the base game this time was amazing and almost complete. Also, the title updates have been pretty good with introducing new challenges and finding that right balance in the difficulty, and also the new monsters. Like I love Omega Planet S. It's just so. Um, and also address a lot of gameplay and grind complaints. Yeah. The combat in Wild feels more action-packed while retaining the unique Monster Hunter wittiness it has and deep mechanics for every weapon and moves the series known for. Yeah, while adding additional moves, and also it has parries now. Yeah, the monsters also feel way more fast and aggressive, I think. And with the new 9-star hunts, more punishing and more fun to fight as well. One thing I see not getting enough credit is the campaign structure. I think if anyone wants to experience this series casually, the base game provides a fun story adventure experience which you can go through and be satisfied. Overall, yeah, I wish there was more competition in this space so Capcom could not get away with delivering an unoptimized game. But with the issues mostly fixed now, it is a great time to jump in and experience all the title updates and get it on sale. It's very well worth it, and you will get a lot of hours from it if you are into these types of games. So yeah. Next up, we have Final Fantasy 16. I don't have much to say about this one compared to the other titles. I finally got to play this one in 2025. This has some of the highest highs and the lowest lows. The combat is really flashy and fun. It is not required to go really deep into the system, in the combat system, but the abilities and different icons look so cool that you are just tempted to experiment eventually. And it's also like really easy to experiment, so it's flexible, which I really like. The combat overall was yeah fun. Sometimes I think too easy, and I have heard that New Game Plus offers the difficulty which the base game should have had. So I will eventually try that. Apart from that, the icon battles are yes indeed some of the hypest moments in the gaming in recent years, and will get you pumped up. Like I was shouting on my screen loudly and blasting the music at full volume. It's really amazing. It reminds you of these old PS2, PS3 era action games with big set pieces, but done really well here. It's not just like what we say, quick time events, right? It's not all quick time events. It's well crafted battles. Yeah. The story is a mixed bag though. First half, I was really all in on this gritty war between kingdoms and these icons being at the center of each kingdom's power and political themes. I really enjoyed. It was also a darker tone, I think, for Final Fantasy, which was really good. I know Final Fantasy always has a darker story, but this time it was like more gritty and more adult. It felt like at least at the start, but yeah. But unfortunately, it abandons it completely. Seems like, and the ending just falls flat on its face for me. The ending is just so bad. I try to not think of it as canon in my head. It's so bad. Some of the cutscenes and side quests also are so drawn out that you just groan during all that and want to get past all that stuff to experience the real game. I mean, yeah, some cutscenes are really awesome, of course, like hypest of the hype moments, as I said. But the general cutscenes, the talk between the characters, it's just so boring. Um, the game, uh, the game is also just weird in a lot of places. Ben Starrisk life carries this game for me. Honestly, and yeah, I mean, there's a reason he became such a popular character and was in Tekken 8 also. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think I will remember this game with mostly fond memories because this still has something special if you're willing to get past all the other stuff and the Final Fantasy soundtrack. I mean, yeah, it's really good.
Continuez à t'aimer, continuez de vendre, tendre la main et d'implorer.
Next up, we have Expedition 33, the big game of the year. Not my personal game of the year, though, that is later in this video. Yeah, this game being this good was not a surprise to me because I followed its marketing and some of the chatter about this from the voice cast, and also, yeah, I enjoyed turn-based games, and this being a new spin on them also excited me, not to mention the art style. I know people like to dunk on this game for art style as just an Unreal 5 game, but it's a very shallow way to look at it. I do have problems with this game and sweeping the Game Awards, don't get me wrong, but yeah, the art style I think was phenomenal. If you look at the game again, like just turn back the clock and remember the reveal of this game, remember the introduction to this game, how magnificent it was. So dunking on its art style, I think it's not fair. The multiple locations, the Chesterfield Village, for example, and the vibe of it all, and the amazing opening of this game, it does look amazing. But yeah, I was surprised by how popular this game got and how much the story of the devs resonated with everyone, which is great. And honestly, they deserve all that. The story and the characters were really well written, and from the first moment, it reminded me of Nier Automata. I'm not sure why, but throughout the entire playthrough, I was like, this is just like experiencing Nier for the first time, which is not which is one of my favorite of all time. And I won't spoil it, but yeah, the Act 3 stuff and the final choice, when I got to them, I screamed, this is almost exactly what Nier did. And I was happy about experiencing something like that and this special again. So yeah, I'm not comparing the two, as Nier does hold too special of a place in my heart, and for anything to come this close to replicating that feeling, it is a big win in my books. The turn-based combat, I know parry was the highlight for everyone, but even removing parry from this equation, from the conversation, the combat had a lot of original ideas which I don't think get enough credit. For example, the AP system. In turn-based games, usually there's MP or magic or mana point bar, which is designed to keep you engaged in the dungeons and not overspend or use overpowered abilities, right? However, I think the AP system here does it so much better, as I hate refilling or thinking about my MP being depleted. And in my opinion, it also has other flaws. I mean, the MP system. Also, the character kits here are really unique. That is the highlight here, and keeps you engaged in every battle. Having separate stances, bars that you can fill by performing certain actions or combining elements and other stuff. Like each character has its own spin on it. On the turn base, which is really interesting. It's not just use this ability or combine this ability and boom, but every character has its own way of doing things. It's sad that Expedition 33 does not get enough credit for these game systems. But yeah, overall, yeah, one of the best games to be released in recent years. Oh, also the music and soundtrack is just so good. I don't have enough words to describe how much I like it. The music in this game is one of those things for me which you love so much that you just can't put into words. It's phenomenal. Yeah. Uh, Next up, we have Thousand X Races. It's weird that this game was not talked about enough last year, else I would have played it earlier. It's a 8 to 10 hour game with a really gripping narrative and unique visual design and really dark themes connected by a personal touch. Overall story is fine, but the highlight of this game is the way it's told in so many different ways, combining the gameplay with storytelling and changing it in every new chapter completely. It helps you immerse in this world and characters and gets really emotional at times and also scary. It's a nice little game which I would recommend everyone try at least once. These are the types of games that reinforces that some stories just cannot be told, can only be told through this medium and have a unique experience. You cannot find this in any other medium apart from gaming. So it's really important to have and support games like these. Next up, we have Selaco. This was the first game I played on my Steam Deck. I think I went in with wrong expectations as to what this game was. From the few trailers and gameplay I saw, I thought it's one of the indie boomer shooters, but it's something very different, and I'm so glad. I will compare it to Half-Life almost. This is not a complete blow your senses away action packed shooter, but a very tightly crafted game with a satisfying combat, but it's also great in the parts where you are not fighting. The game slowly opens up as you are escaping a facility and trying to uncover, and you find new environments and new weapons and gameplay systems. I know I'm not describing this game well, but I'm glad I tried it. I've not finished it yet, as when I played, I think only 2 chapters were out, and it's still in early access and actively being worked on. But what's there also is well worth the money even now. The sense of accomplishment you will get after completing each mission will leave you really satisfied. Next up, The Witcher 3. The great thing about Steam Deck is that you can at least start to look at your backlog and say, I am playing this one next. And the next thing you know, you are hours deep into a game which left you with a smile on your face and an understanding of why it's a classic. I don't have much insights to give on this game at this point, which you have not heard or already know. I love the side quests and the chain of events that can unfold, the great characters, and the amazing open world, and the unique theme and art style that no other game that I have played yet has replicated it yet for me. I won't say much about this apart from I love this one and so glad I got to experience this finally. Resident Evil 4 Remake. I never played the original, so this was the first time experiencing this game for me, and it was a good time. The survival horror genre in recent times has seen a nice increase in games and popularity. Dead Space Remake, Alan Wake 2, Silent Hill 2 and F, Chronos, New Dawn, all these have received universal praise. But yeah, talking about Resident Evil 4 Remake specifically, the gameplay is so tightly balanced. Every level you survive by the skin of your teeth, which is always satisfying and gives you the adrenaline rush you require to push forward. The roundhouse kick is the best, though, encouraging you to push forward and slowly amping up the difficulty of encounters. The different upgrades, weapons also have nice feel to them, and it's a nice 20 to 30 hour adventure. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing game, and I bet for the time it was really revolutionary. Uh, Next up, we have Deadlock. This game, in its early alpha, is still in its early alpha stage, is already so fun to play. I know this year had its big multiplayer releases like Battlefield 6 and Ark Raiders, but Deadlock was the multiplayer game that I got sucked into. Really, I don't have much to say about it yet, as yeah, it still does feel like an alpha game in some parts, and rightfully so. But it's worth a try at least, especially with all the recent changes. I can't wait for the game to find the right balance between being a hero shooter and a MOBA. I think it should be more of a MOBA, honestly, and I think there are recent updates they are dialing more towards that. But it's still fun. I haven't played MOBAs before this. I tried, but I never liked them. But this one is different. I put a lot of hours into it, and I will wait for its full release. But I still play it. I think it can be the next big thing. I just hope the hype doesn't die down for this one, right? So let's see. Next up, Promise Mascot Agency. Truth be told, I got into this game just because the main character in this game is also voiced by Kiryu's voice actor, Takaya Kuruda. I know I'm butchering the pronunciation, so sorry for that. He's from the Yakuza series. But I'm glad I played this one. It's a blend between being a cozy game while you are driving around the village, while also being a management sim where you are managing these weird mascots as you have to repay your family debt. Um, the game surprisingly has an interesting hook and story, and most of all, characters are well written, which was the real surprise for me in a game of this type. It's a really worthwhile game if you want to get lost in a little Japanese village with mysteries to uncover while in a cozy genre with great vibes. It's a fun time. Borderlands 4. This was the game I was waiting for in the second half of the year, and well, I have some real mixed feeling about this one. I love BL2. I love Borderlands 2, and I played the hell out of Borderlands 3 and even the spin off Tiny Tina Wonderlands, despite all their known flaws. I played Wonderlands on Epic Games Store, and I really never used Epic Games Store, so you can understand how much I like this series. However, despite the hype, I was really vocally skeptical about this game's launch date in terms of endgame because they never talked about. They talked about a lot of things, but they really rarely talked about the endgame in detail. Because there's no end game. This game has really nice bones. The gameplay is fun, character kits and abilities also well made, and the campaign also super fun. I put in 100 plus hours into this really quickly. However, eventually the lack of endgame realizations came in quickly after that. I know there's a lot of discourse about launch date of Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3, and Borderlands 4. But the truth is, I wish Gearbox learned their lessons from those games and did not repeat the same mistakes. I think the campaign and the side quests are really good, especially the side quests are really worth doing, all of them. If you get this one on sale now and just for the campaign, you will still get your money's worth easily for 40 to 60 hours of content for fun shooting and looting gameplay and some of the funniest side quests. Like, yeah, it's rare to find good comedy in video game. I know Borderlands is not the game people like for comedy, but I think here it's really well done. It's tasteful. But at the end game, it feels really dry and has multiple issues. They recently added a raid boss and UVHM 6 difficulty, which I have yet to try. But yeah, I truly wish this game had more. Killing the same boss like 100 times for an item drop without any raid or dungeon is not fun and does not make sense in 2025. You know, I miss Outriders. Yeah, I think this genre can learn a lot from that game because that was also like a single player offline fun looter shooter. So yeah, it's weird to talk about this game like this at this point because I remember I was having a blast for the first 80 hours of Borderlands 4, but maybe it's just my expectations. So hopefully this game gets to the point where it's more enjoyable and want to dive into endgame. but it's sad to still wait for the fixes instead of delivering a full game on day one. And not to mention the performance issues. I mean, that is a whole another story. It sucks. It's still not fixed, I think. I tried, and while Monster Hunter Wilds also launched in a patch set, it's mostly fixed now. But Borderlands 4, I still get a lot of stutters, and it feels like my rig is not doing enough for this game. Next up, Beastie Ball. This is another early access indie which you can see and guess where it takes inspiration from. However, it does innovate enough in terms of its volleyball turn-based gameplay, where these turn-based battles have enough depth to them and a lot of ways to strategize. But for me, my favorite part was the adventure. The art style and all the different gym battles always twist around and add stuff to the base gameplay, where it always excites me when I'm visiting a new gym. I was hooked to this game, leveling up my BCs and mixing and matching and going on this adventure to new places. One of these places, for example, had a pirate treasure hunt in which you had to participate before joining in the battle. And this is just one of the examples, and it was really well done. Like the music and the presentation of it, it's really fun. There are a lot of unique twists here. I think it's worth it to get it in early access. I had around 15 hours into this in early access itself, and for the price, it's well worth it. Can't wait for the full release on this one. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Two disclosures about this game from me. I played this entirely on the Steam Deck for 100 plus hours. Second, this is my game of the year. Playing this game this year reminded me of why I fell in love with this medium in the first place. Great story, outstanding characters, so much dialogue, so much immersion, and a fun combat system which I really enjoyed and trained to get better at. I hope the devs know how much this game is loved, because this was the most snubbed game at all the game awards. Not even winning the best RPG. I don't know how this happens. Like, wow. But that aside, let's talk about KCD2. The opening, while maybe divisive, it really hooked me in, and it did not hold back at all. I really struggled to pick my favorite openings between Expedition 33 and KCD2 this year, as both serve their purpose perfectly. On top of being a robust RPG, this also does the immersive sim elements really well. Like the world is your oyster here, whether you wanna earn through alchemy, combat, thievery, blacksmithing, or stealing, and selling horses, which I loved doing early game, easy money. I'm selling horses. No two playthroughs will be same. Everyone has their own way of playing this when they jump into this world for the first time. Some may try to avoid being a criminal. They might try to just sell alchemy and plants, or try to sell weapons from blacksmithing, or some just want to be bandits and steal horses and steal from the merchants, which is also very lucrative but very risky, as you can get caught really easily if you overdo it. Trotsky region is so visually stunning with this massive castle peeping through the center of it all. Please do all or as many side quests as you can before going to the wedding in the first region, because that wedding setting is genius. It's perfect. It truly feels like you are at a grand event and everyone is up to something different, you know. It came to a point where I just forgot I was playing a game and found myself immersed as Henry in that wedding. Talking about Henry, one of the most fun RPG protagonists, and just like him, all the other characters, Jan, Zizka, Hans, Katharina, Daredevil and his gang, every one of them so well written and brought to life by some outstanding voice work and direction. I truly wonder how many lines of dialogues did Tom, the voice actor for Henry, had for this role between The multiple choices, all with extensive dialogues, and with the length of this game being 100 plus hours at least. This game is also really funny at times. It's just weirdly funny. The dialogues and the reaction of the characters. I'm just laughing about thinking some of the dialogues and how the community has gotten about them. Side quests, I was always waiting to jump into another side quest. This year, as you know, I played Witcher 3 also, and I was really impressed with its side quests. And in KCD2, it's no different. The main difference here is that, as I talked about the immersive sim elements, there are a lot of ways to resolve every side quest you encounter. And I'm not talking about just having multiple choice, but really like going out of your own way to do something that maybe the game did not intend in the first place. There are so much stuff awaiting out there where you can tackle the quest in a lot of ways. The world they have built, also both the Trotsky and Gutenberg region, you feel a sense of belonging there, and all the place in between, as well as the road, the wild forest. It invites you to get lost into it. Fun fact: this game uses the cryo engine because of the vegetation and stuff, and it's I think it works really well. It's not an Unreal game, and you can tell it's not an Unreal game. And I also played this on the Steam Deck, if you remember, for the all the 100 hours, and it was on 60 FPS. Like using some lossless scaling stuff, and but yeah, it was really responsive, no input delays. It was really good. Another thing I want to talk about is the writing, specifically tackling the themes of nobility and the caste system in that era. And it tackles them really maturely, without casting direct judgments, and handles it really well. Best example is Hans Capo. At times, I was annoyed by him with all his attitude at the start, but when you explore and meet more people in the world, and learn about what nobility means in that era, you do realize Hans did way more than he ever needed to do by saving Henry at the beginning, and also their relationship was really well done. I wish we saw more of him, as he does take a back seat from time to time, but it's understandable. There are a lot of characters here that and a lot of story to get through. Best game of 2025 for me by far. I played it a lot. No shade to other games, but I just resonated with KCD2 a lot more. I still have to play the DLCs, which I definitely will, but the base game itself has so much stuff to do. It's nuts. This is stuff of art. So, the final game I want to talk about in 2025 that I played is Jedi Survivor. I started playing it last year and reached like a quarter of the way through, but I dropped because I could not see past the performance issues anymore. I picked it up again this year after I got a better rig and the game got more patches. Overall, it was a fun, straightforward action adventure. People have mixed opinion about the combat, but I really like it. The feel of the lightsaber, I think Respawn were trying to implement something between a melee action game and a Souls-like, and I think they are really close to getting it perfect. Only really weak part for me were the wildlife enemies, which have really badly telegraphed attacks. I really enjoyed fighting the droids and the troopers. Some bosses were also really cool. The lightsaber fights were, yeah, amazing. Apart from gameplay stuff, the game does a good job of immersing yourself into the Star Wars universe, and a palate cleanser in reminding you of why you love Star Wars. The unique retro futuristic tech, the ships, the various locations. Cal Kestis as the protagonist is a great choice and is written really well and maturely. I'm glad we are getting so many well written protagonists in recent games, which are really well handled. I'm really invested in his story and keen on seeing what awaits for us and him in the next game. I wish this game did more, and wish the next game fixes issues from this game, and it will be a perfect experience. So yeah, this was my list.